Hey guys, what's going on? Jake here with JB Cars. Today we're going to go ahead and do some work on my new Athearn Genesis Union Pacific CA-8 late caboose. This is the one with the Tsunami sound card decoder in it. So it does produce sound, as well as you can see some lighting up there at the top of the cupola on both sides, as well as some interior lighting. I've really have no complaints with this car. The only complaint I do have is that every once in a while, just typical dirty track, the lights will go out and then I just have to turn them back on, or sometimes they don't always like going over my my turnouts here. So as you can tell kind of by my layout, it's still in the very early stages, so I've still got some work to do. I could probably file down my frogs and stuff here a little bit. But just to help with that, I'm going to go ahead and put in this brand new Soundtraxx Currentkeeper2. This thing is literally brand new. They just got it in yesterday. Today is the 14th of October. So it's brand new to it's brand new to the guys down there at my hobby store, so they don't have a whole lot of information about it. But the nice thing is it pretty much states everything it needs to right here. You can pick these things up for roughly 24 bucks, at least from my hobby store. Here's the part number 810160. And it is smaller than the normal Currentkeeper, so it only will maintain power for up to 6 seconds. But in all reality, that should be more than enough, while the normal Currentkeeper powers for up to 10 seconds. But as you can see here, I mean, you can see my thumb up against it. It's nice and small. They do give you the dimensions up there at the top. So if you're trying to put this inside of a small tender or something like that, or even, even this caboose, it's real nice and small. So in the package, they do give you 2 pieces of shrink wrap tubing, obviously, and the Currentkeeper. It's probably got a nice, I don't know, maybe 4 to 5 inch long whip on it with the plug on the end that'll just plug right onto the board that's inside of this, given that they're both Soundtraxx. So let's go ahead and open this up and the caboose, and we'll start the install. All right, so now that we got the packet all opened up and the car off the tracks, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the paper that comes with this. So if you open it up, it's got a nice little information in here just to kind of tell you about everything, just to help you out with the installation, about the Currentkeepers, installing them, which ones that they'll be able to just click right into, which ones you're going to have to cut the end off and actually put onto the board yourself. But nothing too difficult. They do give you some nice diagrams depending on your decoder, as well as on this side. So nothing too difficult. So all right, let's go ahead and open up the caboose and start installing. Grab the caboose or whatever you're gonna be working on. On this case, like I said, I'll be working on my caboose. It's real nice and easy. I mean, I've already loosened it, that way I can do it with 2 hands, but you just gotta separate the bottom from the actual top of it, and you lift up and off. Just be real gentle with it, as you do have some very small wires in here, but it kind of gives you a nice look inside. You can see the LED lights up at the top with 2 chairs up there in the cupola, and then you got a chair right there and a chair over there. You can see the speaker there, and then underneath the board is your LED lights for your interior lighting, and then here's just your standard Tsunami board. So if you look right here, this is actually your connection point for your Currentkeeper. So just real nice and easy, it just pushes right into here. So go ahead and grab your Currentkeeper. Now you're going to want to keep where you see the wires, keep that on the bottom, and it just pushes in. I might need 2 hands for this. Yep. Alright, and just like that, it's pushed in. And just be very careful when you do that you don't pinch any of these other wires. Kind of where this little black piece, that clip for this board pops up, kind of does get in your way a little bit. But it goes in. Having a little flat plate screwdriver or something, kind of just push right above the wires there. Kind of gives you the help right there. So, all right, that's just about does it for the install. I'm going to go ahead and take some double-sided tape and put it on the back or on the bottom side of this current keeper and place it over here. That way it doesn't really move on me while this is running down the track. All right, so I decided to actually go ahead and stick the Keep Alive under the board. It fits in there real nice. Maybe if you fit a little bit better if you actually had a little bit maybe thinner double-sided like foam tape or something. But if you decide to put it underneath, just make sure that you keep it away from the LED lights. So there's going to be one right about here, about halfway in, and then there's another one over here about halfway in. Now you don't have a whole lot of room on this side with this one, so I don't recommend trying to put it over here. You might have room there behind at least on this side, behind the chair there, but then you're going to block the LED light. But if you put it over here and just keep it closer to speaker, it'll fit in there real nice. Plenty of room for the wires, and you don't block the light. So I decided to put it there that way, with being able to see through the windows and the cupola and everything, you still won't see like a Keep Alive in here. And then the wire is nice and long enough to be able to fit and just plug in real nice. All right, let's go ahead and put this back together. Make sure all your wires are tucked in, they don't get pinched. All right, and there you go, all back together. So let's go ahead and put this back on the track and see how it works. All right, guys, well, now that we got it back on the tracks, as you can see here, all put back together. LED lights are still on. Makes noise and everything. Now, just as a quick reminder, they do note that they ask you to which I already did, secure the current keeper down with some tape or double-sided foam tape or something like that. And then also, just as another reminder, that it takes roughly about 2 minutes for the current keeper to become fully charged. So in my opinion, that's not too bad. I mean, if you're just running the layout, it's going to charge pretty quick. And it also really doesn't wear through the power in like 6 seconds, just because of the fact that it's not like powering any motors or anything like that. So just with the the 3, 4, 5 little LEDs, depending on what you have on, and the little speaker, it doesn't really blow through the life that fast. But let's go ahead and take this off the track. So it will play some different noises. It warns you with a whistle 3 times, just to warn you, hey, you lost power. Try and get me back on power real quick. Gives you another one as a warning, and then it's about to go out. And there you go. So not too bad, definitely longer than 6 seconds. Not much longer, but I mean, that's plenty enough time for it to pick back up on power. Whenever you do take it off track power, if the lights are on, they're going to stay on, and then if it picks back up immediately on track power, the lights are going to stay on. If it completely loses power, it's going to lose its lighting and everything. Then you're going to have to turn it back on, just as if you turned your layout off. And then you just simply turn them back on. No problems whatsoever. All right, let's go ahead and turn some sounds on that we can actually hear them. Get that clickety-clack going. So that is one thing I figured out since my last review, that if you have this decoder programmed a certain number and then have that decoder's address moving, doesn't necessarily have to be even attached to anything. As you can hear, I just have this programmed to 1, that way it doesn't match up with anything else on my layout. So like if I get something new that's programmed to 3, this caboose is automatically going to be programmed to that. So I shouldn't have anything programmed to number 1 ever. So that's always a nice thing about that. But as you can see here, speed it up, clickety-clack, speeds up. So let's go ahead and take this off the track power, see what it does with that on. And then right back on, light turns back on, clickety-clack, goes right back to the same of what it was. So, alright guys, well, if you like this little install, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, maybe in that subscribe button and that bell icon, that way you're notified when I post. Alright, have yourself a great night.